Well, hi everyone, it's Jane at VelocityVet08, and this is a finished video of a steampunk project that I did. I wanted to share with all of you. This was inspired by a day that I had playing around with my Yudi and with my melting pot and with texture treads that Ranger makes. And so I made some, and I'll show you some of the others that I made. This is my texture tread UD piece that I made. After I got it done, I just loved it. I was like, you know, I like steampunk stuff. I like other stuff, all kinds of things, but steampunk stuff's kind of fun, and it just inspired me to make a canvas. And I'll just show you real quick. For those of you who didn't see, here's just a sample of some of the other ones I made. Like here's a tree. And some of these are better than others. This is like peacock feathers. I really liked it. And I did one, I'm going to do some, like a 3-piece canvas thing. These are trees and some more cogs. And so just a little sampling of some things that I made, playing around with my, and if you're interested in looking at these further, you can always take a look out on my channel, because I did, I think like 4 parts videos of it, quite a bit. So I was inspired to do this, but I wanted, like I said, to make it, all steampunk. And I remembered that I had a really cool set of cogs. They're actually like watch cog parts that Saw makes in her store, and they're really, really super cool. They're made out of chipboard, and you get, it's $4 as of the time of this video. They're $4.29, and you get like 30 or more cogs. I mean, there is a ton of them in there, all different sizes. I mean, you can see the sprinkling of sizes on here. And what's really nice is you actually get really big ones, like these right here. And I love having really big ones, because most of the gears and stuff that we buy, in the stores, they're not that big. You can't get some real big ones. So she sells them in chipboard in really big sizes, and you get the whole package together. So you have, and they all look different. There's like a huge different variety of them in there. It's super cool. So I used a bunch of those, and then I had also ordered these like steampunk dress form girls. I don't know what the official name is for them, but these were really popular as a picture on steampunk debutante paper, and she sells these for $1.99, which is really a super bargain. So I got out all my steampunk goodies that I could play with, and I had some of this honeycomb in my stash, but Saw does sell this. It's very similar to this, and she sells it in chipboard and she sells it in wood. And I actually have some ordered, both in chipboard and wood, to come to me, but I didn't have them yet, so I had to use what I had in my stash. But she does have this in her store as well, which is really fun to add into a project similar to this. So the first thing I did was I wanted to get some texture on my canvas, and I actually used some of her lace, and I'll show you what it was that I used. I'm sorry I don't have it out. I forgot that I actually even put that lace down there, but that's what gives you some of the texture and stuff. And I just used this. She sells this lace in different colors in her store, and I just put down 2 strips of it like this, and it gave me texture on my canvas instead of just having a flat canvas. And it didn't take much of it. And it's anytime I've done something like this, I've always done it that way, and it works really well. So that's what I did. And then I went from there to well, I painted it black. After I put the lace on, I painted the entire canvas and all the cogs. I painted all the cogs, the canvas, and the honeycomb, everything, and the ladies, all of it, with black gesso. I painted everything with black gesso. And I get that honey back up there. So everything was black, just like a flat black, and that gave me like a great palette to work with. So then I used my sparkle medium that I have, that I had gotten over in the UK. And there's tutorial, you'll see, if you go out and look, you can see the videos on how I did, what I used, the products and so forth. But this was, it's just like a texture paste that you can use, and it's just very sparkly. And I used it with her mask that is the one, her newest one, that's a lattice. Oh my God, it's so nice. I love her lattice mask. It is very, very cool. And she has both the positive and the negative. And I bought both of them, and I'm so glad I did, because I want to show you the difference in here. They're so cool. So I used the one mask that where you mask over it and you fill in with the texture paste. It fills in the holes. I'll just show you. It's easier than me trying to describe it. I just have to find which one it is. I'm so organized, aren't I? I know I have it back down here. I'm actually more organized than it might seem. I'll show you that she has. Okay, so here is, yeah, you can see it good here. Here's the one that I used on the canvas. So when I went over it, oh, I'm sorry, it was this one. I actually left sparkle medium almost everywhere except for these little lines, and that's what I did on the canvas. And I used a blue color and I used a copper color, and then I took this one, which only leaves the lines, and I used it on some of the cogs, and it was amazing. I did on this one too, and by the time I colored them with Inka Gold as well, it almost made them look like tigerish. I mean, really, really super neat. And then I used another one that is Saws. Well, I used this one on the ladies. This is the one with the words on it, and she sells these in her store, the ones with script. She sells all different kind of scripts, so you have lots to choose from there. And her stencils, I did a video about her stencils. They're really amazing. They work really well. They're a nice thin stencil, and they work really, really well. I also used this honeycomb one. You can see it there. There we go. I used it on cogs as well, and got these lines like this, which are just super cool. And then I used another one that is the opposite, and I got the honeycombs like this. So all of these are out there and available in her store, and they're really, really super, super nice stencils to use because they are thin. They're not bulky stencils. You will get a very, very good you know, they'll show that when you use them, they'll not, you know, bleed under. They work really, really well. I love her stencils. I absolutely love them. And the price on them is very reasonable, like everything else. So that, and I just, like I said, I just love the way that it turned out on these gears. So I used the sparkle medium to do that as well. And like I told you, they were painted black. And this piece right here, I used Inka Golds on it as well. And then after I got these all, you know, like how I wanted them with the stencils and everything, I took the Inka Golds and I went, you know, all over them in different places to make the neat colors. I wanted the purples and the greens and blue and copper were the colors that I used. And I left a little black showing in some places. I, you know, wanted it to show through because I just thought, you know, it gave a really neat look. And then when I got them all done, I sprayed them all with a gloss spray just to kind of seal things, and also to give them just a little bit of a luster. You know, I didn't want them to be like totally flat and not any kind of shine at all to them. I wanted it to have a little shine, and so I you know, sprayed them everywhere and just let them all dry. I even sprayed the canvas, but the canvas also got sprayed with several Cosmic Shimmer colors and Lindy Stamp Gang colors to get this effect so that it would be all color coordinated. And again, that's all out there in my videos, that my process videos. And I dried them a little bit, but I tried to mostly let things air dry. They just seem to end up with a better result, in my opinion. So after I got that done, I did cut these mirrored ones. I used the mirror paper that's made by Ranger by Tim Holtz. I think it's Ranger. If it's not, I apologize. And I cut some of the gadget gears, and I also cut one of the over the edge gears in mirror. And I also cut myself out a piece of chipboard. I took this piece right here that I had made with my Yudi, and I just set it down on a piece of chipboard, and I took a pencil and I just drew an outline of this about a ½ inch or so around it. And then I cut it out with chipboard, just a lightweight chipboard, and then I put the chipboard on the back of a piece of this mirrored paper because it's sticky on the back, and I just cut it again so that I had the mirrored piece. And I sanded it to be real smooth, and I used that underneath here just to add interest to this, so it would draw your eyes somewhat to it, because to just put it on the canvas, it seemed to kind of get lost a little bit. And so then I wanted to add all this other mirrors around here as well, the other mirror paper, mirror gears, I guess you could say. But I thought that they were a great enhancement with the chipboard cogs. I mean, I thought it was like a really great combination to have both, because nothing gets lost anywhere. It just pops all over the place. And so I thought that was super neat and fun to do. And then after I got everything colored and sprayed, I unveiled my mirror paper, and I just started laying things out. And I really, like, the mirror makes things pop, but I loved how these cogs looked that I worked and altered on of saws, and I wanted them to be the ones that you saw the most. So I tried to have the mirror be more behind it so that it would push, you know, the look of these more to the top. That was my goal, and I just love how it turned out in the layout. And I also wanted them to look very random. And then there was a few places where like glue strings got on the mirror, and once glue strings get on this, it's like impossible to get them off. And so there was a couple places where I just used cogs to hide that, which is fine too. But you know, I have them glued on the back side, you know, and the cogs, what I did was I painted them black on the back too, just in case like you would see them on the back of the canvas. You know, I painted, you know, I didn't know exactly how I was going to put them down, so they were painted black all over both front and back. And but I really, really love how it turned out. It's just a super, super fun project. I was just so inspired by this piece, and I was so happy that I had her cogs and I had these ladies. I thought it was just a perfect fit for it all together. And I just want to encourage people. I just have to say this. Obviously, I try to help get sales for Saw Store. There's no hiding that. That's part of being a design team member. And many of you, you know, buy items that I do, but of things that I make. But one thing I get the message on a lot is when I do a project like this, people say to me, I've never done anything like that, and I don't know where to start. I'm a little afraid of it. People are intimidated about it. I get all kinds of messages from people who have never tried it. Now, there are people who do it. That I'm not speaking, you know, this is the people who haven't ever tried it and write and say, you know, that they don't know where to start with it and they're a little intimidated. This is what I just have to say about it, is that this is some of the funnest art you'll ever do, because it's very freeing. There's no mistakes. You can't make mistakes. You just put them here, you put them there, you call it art. I mean, honestly, it's how it is. And so these cogs here are $4.29. The ladies are $1.99. Not a big investment. And so one of my suggestions I said in my last video, and if you didn't watch that video, you can hear it here. What a fun thing to do to get those things. And maybe, don't start with a canvas if you're kind of intimidated by it. Get yourself a tag. Get yourself a tag, color your tag with your distress inks, use a few of the cogs. You're going to have like 30 of them in the bag to use. So you could use some of your cogs, put one of the ladies on it, and your tag's going to look super cool. And it's your first step into doing this, and your risk is so little. I mean, you're risking like, $6 and some shipping. So, you know, and you might be getting other things anyway. So my point is this just, you know, have fun. It is very freeing. Don't let, you know, the fact you have never done it hold you back. Give it a shot. It is really literally some of the funnest art I have ever done. It's just plain. And starting out with a tag is just a great way to go if you've never tried it before. So I just want to throw that out there because, you know, I think that there's some people that might be missing out on some fun that I think would like to try it. And here's a great place to start. You know, get yourself, you don't have to use, if you don't have Inka Golds, use some Distress inks. You know, use whatever you have. If you use crayons, I mean, if you have gelatos would work great on them. There's so many different mediums that would work on these cogs. And, you know, so it's only your imagination. So look around and see what you have in your house that you could use in your craft room. And I bet you have all kinds of things that you could use to do a steampunk project. And so I just wanted to throw that out there, you know, as just some ideas. Just, you know, like I said, there's a person on here, and I won't say who she is, but she said this about me a long time ago, and she said she loved watching me because I craft without fear. And I have hung on to that ever since. And I just want to say that I would love for everybody to craft without fear. There's no reason to ever hold back from trying anything. So anyway, I hope you will give it a shot and try some of these things if you haven't before, because you really have a lot of fun. I will see you at my next project, and I don't even know what it's going to be. So it's going to be fun, but it'll be one of the things that's on my whole big list of what I said was what was next. So I can't wait, and I'll see you then. Bye.